So you've been doing consistent vocal warm-ups just like your coach taught you, but you still have voice cracks, pain, strain, and tension gripping up on you every time that you walk out on stage for that gig and every time that you walk into the studio. The reason why is you are making one of the 7 core vocal warm-up specific mistakes. And I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid those so you can have a solid, sustainable singing career. My name is Isaiah Harris. I'm a vocal coach, and my average students start singing higher within just as little as 2 weeks. And within as little as 2 months, adds nearly a full octave to their vocal range, pain, strain, and tension free. So let's get into this and show you the no fluff techniques and principles so that you can avoid these mistakes and actually feel proud of the music that you put out. Okay, so the first mistake that you are likely making is warming up to begin with. Yes, you heard that right. Doing vocal warm-ups to begin with is a very, very major mistake. I know I probably just committed a massive heresy by saying that, but hear me out. So the problem with vocal warm-ups is just that. They are warm-ups and nothing more. They do not do a single solitary thing to actually grow your voice. Now, they do have their place because it's meant to help us build a foundation so that we can then start doing exercises that actually grow your voice and actually make you better. And you really should think of it like this. Like Michael Jordan did not become Michael Jordan because he did a bunch of jogging in place or, a few quick jumping jacks before every single game. No, he was doing tactical passing drills to work on his passing. He was doing tactical dribbling drills to work on his dribbling. He was doing tactical shooting drills to work on his shooting, where he was isolating specific aspects of his voice to work on so that he could improve. And the biggest thing with warm-ups, why they're not effective for long-term growth, is because it never gets to a place of isolating the exact specific issues that you have. And I'd hate to admit this, but if you've been working with a vocal coach for years, or you've been browsing around YouTube for years and you feel like your voice is still in the same spot, it means you've really just been warming up your voice for a period of 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30 plus years. Now, what are the types of exercises that actually do make your voice better and actually do grow your voice? So the simplest way to put it is exercises that focus on building a connection inside of your voice. The types of things that are going to connect your chest voice with your head voice and with your mixed voice. And we're going to get into that a little bit later as I go over into the other mistakes. But essentially, yes, do your warm-ups, do the exercises, but if that's all you're doing, that's probably a big reason why you're not where you want to be with your singing career. So the second mistake that you are making when you are warming up your voice is you are ignoring the body. So what most people don't realize is that the voice is not merely just an instrument that is right here in this area of your body. From head to toe, your entire body is an instrument for singing, and every single thing that you do with your body is going to affect your singing, either for the negative or either for the positive. And one thing you'll notice is if you take a look at whoever your favorite artist is and you see videos of when they're performing on stage, you'll notice like they're lively, they're jumping up and down, they're not just going la 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 la. It's vibrant. They're putting their bodies into it. They're bringing full energy into what they're doing with the song. And it's not just for show, believe it or not. But actually, when a singer is trying to have like a loud, meaty note, like a yeah, like moving their arms, moving their hands, moving their torso, it actually helps that to come out with more power. And when you're doing your do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, and you're just stagnant, you're missing out on so much of the power that you could be building to grow your voice, not just merely warm it up, but make sure that you're actually sustainably growing that voice for the long term. Very often when I am doing a warm up with a student, a lot of the things we'll do is we'll incorporate things such as bending down while we're doing the exercise. We're going la 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 la, Or also too, doing a nice simple little jog in place. La 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 la. To get the head to toe muscle of your voice, not just the in here muscle of your voice, actively moving. Another thing we'll also do is we'll have them do squats while they're doing certain exercises. Like if there's a time where they're really going up for a high note, we'll have them go la, to really, really make it come out powerfully. Because that movement is so critical. All right, so the third most common singing mistake that you are likely making is not working till failure. So this really comes from the core principle of understanding that nearly every principle that applies to working out also too applies to singing. Because once again, this is a muscle, just like any other. Your whole instrument from head to toe is involved in your singing. And this is really something that I discovered when I was working with a student of mine once, and he had told me, he's like, hey, Isaiah, I noticed that anytime it is that I come back from the gym, my voice sounds just absolutely amazing. And it's like, I don't even have to do anything. Like, why is that? You know, and I paused and I told him, well, hey, the reason why that's happening is because when you're going to the gym, you are making this muscle of your voice, which is a muscle from head to toe, not just in one isolated area, but you doing your lunges, you doing the bicep curls, you doing the squats. It is working all of those other muscles, and you're pushing those muscles to failure or to their limits. You know, that's why you grow in the gym. It's like no one in the gym grows if they're not putting on more weight than what they can handle, so that that muscle realizes, oh, I'm up under, you know, a little bit of pressure here. I need to grow bigger and stronger. And it's the same with the voice, to where the exercises that you're doing need to be done till failure, so that the muscle of your voice can continue to grow stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, what does till failure mean? So to be very, very clear, it's not the same way in the gym, how like you'll feel physical pain, like they say, no pain, no gain. You never want to feel physical pain when you're singing, but the way that you know that you're doing an exercise till failure is you are doing that specific exercise until you are completely and totally out of breath. And essentially, if let's say you're doing a simple exercise like your typical scales, like la 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 la, and most people would take breaths in between la 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 la. That's not you working the muscle till failure. Because every single time you take a breath in between, you are actually, it's the vocal equivalent of you stopping the exercise just when it feels comfortable and not getting any of that muscle growth. So what it would look like is doing it all the way until you're out of breath is simply this. La 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 until we are exhausted. I'm talking panting out of breath, not just like, oh, I'm a little comfortable out of breath, but like, whoo, man, I can't go any further. Whoo, man, like I've got nothing left in me. And it seems crazy, but that exhaustion of doing that exercise until you truly don't have a single thing left in you, that is what makes the growth happen in your voice. Because remember, we're not just trying to warm up the voice, we are trying to grow the voice so that you can start singing with power, not have any of the cracks, strain, or tension, and actually be proud of the music that you put out. Okay, so the fourth common singing mistake that you are more than likely making is not doing warm-ups in your golden spot range. So, what is a golden spot range? So it's a unique, specific set of notes, unique to everyone, just like their fingerprint. So mine's different from yours different from your mom, dad, brother, sister, best friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, you name it. But they're unique to every individual, that when you find what those specific set of notes are for your voice, it's essentially like the teeny tiny domino that knocks down all the other bigger dominoes of your singing problems. The thing is, I had one particular student who they came in and they struggled like crazy with cracks, especially on the high notes. You know, they were trying to sing songs a little bit more up here. And really what we did is we helped to find where their specific golden spot range is in their voice, unique to them and only them. And we started doing some exercises and we found that their golden spot was right in between A3 and A4. And what we did is we had them do literally just basic, simple humming. We just had them do a simple little hum like a again and again, back and forth and back and forth, and also till failure, to where they were doing that until they were totally out of breath. And all we did during the entire session was just humming in this golden spot range that we helped for them to find. And what do you know? They then went to sing that very same song that they were struggling, and they were able to sing these higher notes better and just with absolute ease. They told me like, wow, Isaiah, I am shocked. I am utterly shocked at just how simple and just how much better my voice is sounding. And it was all because we worked on this specific golden spot range. Now, there's other videos on my channel that go over this in more detail that you can check out. Also as well too, if you want to learn more about this golden spot ranges and exactly step by step how to find it in your own unique voice, plus also to learn about 3 other very common singing mistakes that you're probably also making and how to avoid those as well, just click on the link below in the description to get my free golden spot training and how to avoid 3 additional core major singing mistakes to really launch your career and make you that singer that you know you were called to be. So the 5th singing mistake that you likely are making is really when you choose to just skip notes altogether because they're out of your comfort zone. Because once again, back to these earlier principles about growing your voice, not just warming up your voice. You want to always try to hit the notes when you were doing a warm-up exercise. Because when you're just skipping them, you're never allowing any time for those notes to be able to grow. Because I'd have so many students I'd come across where they'd be going, la, 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 and we get a little higher, la, la. And they'll just skip out on all that altogether because they're just like, I know I won't be able to hit it. But really taking the time to push yourself, even if you're going, even if you know that it's a little bit there, doing the best you can to, in the most softest, comfortable way possible, make sure that you're training your body to go through with those notes. It's really what is going to give you the progress. And also too, going back to the other principles we talked about earlier, such as focusing on body movement, doing bending down, jumping, jogging, all those different things, and also doing it till failure, it's going to make that what was once an uncomfortable area for your voice start to get more comfortable, to where we go la 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 just like how I did there, to where like you get that uncomfortable area, just literally squeeze it out where you're going through it again and again and again and again and again until you're exhausted out of breath, so that it then actually starts to become more comfortable for you. So the 6th common singing mistake that you are likely making up in your warm-ups is doing lip trills, or some would call them lip buzzes, where you go really. My biggest gripe that I have with these is truly plain and simple, that back to, once again, what we said earlier, these only warm up your voice. And what it does is it's basically teaching your voice to hit notes only with training wheels on. Because if you think about it, like when you were young and you were learning how to ride a bike, you had training wheels, but there eventually came a time to where the training wheels needed to come off. If you stayed with those training wheels the entire time, you're never going to actually learn how to ride that bike. And there's way too many coaches and training videos out there on YouTube that just do to where it makes your body dependent on that exercise to even be able to hit certain notes, and it doesn't train the musculature to get stronger like we've talked about so that you can hit those higher ranges without any assistance whatsoever, where it's strong and free flowing. So the seventh and final biggest singing mistake that you are likely making is not focusing on feeling. So one of just the absolute biggest misconceptions people have about singing is that it's all about what you hear, when singing has a whole lot more to do with what you feel. And I'm not just talking like oh, I got a feeling in my soul. I'm talking about the physical bodily sensation that you feel when you open your mouth to sing. And plain and simple, if you've been doing warm-ups and by the end of your warm-up session, your voice doesn't feel different, or by the end of your voice lesson with your coach, you don't feel different, it means you did not grow or change one iota. Because once again, back to gym principles, when you go to the gym and you work out, oh boy, does your body feel different when it is done. You feel it, like you feel it all over in every single one of your muscles from head to toe. You should feel some sense of freedom when you're done doing your warm-ups. You should feel some sense of lightness in your voice when you're done doing warm-ups. If you're not, it is a surefire sign that you are doing the wrong thing. And it means we didn't follow any of the other principles and steps of doing an exercise till failure, doing it specifically in our golden spot range, and making sure that we're not avoiding just skipping notes altogether. So that covers things here for today's video. Like I said, if you want to learn even more about 3 other very, very common mistakes that are also probably plaguing your singing, click the link below to get access to my free training on that. And also as well be sure to check out the next video here that YouTube is recommending for you.